Stepping into site security isn't just a job, it is an immense responsibility. You guys are literally the first and most vital line of defense for this installation. So today, we're focusing on the fundamental duties that form the absolute backbone of our security operations. We're going to master perimeter patrol and search techniques. Pay close attention, because the details we cover in this masterclass are exactly what will keep this facility safe, protect our assets, and frankly, keep you sharp and alive out there.
Right, so our Industrial Security Management Manual states this plainly, and I want you to memorize it. The first round is most important and may well be the difference between safety and disaster. I really want that etched into your minds. That very first patrol you do when you strap on your boots and start your shift, that sets your baseline for the next 8 to 12 hours. You're actively checking that the intrusion detection systems are alive, that the physical doors are locked securely, and that absolutely nothing is out of place. Your extreme vigilance from minute one is what prevents a quiet, routine night from suddenly turning into an absolute disaster.
Okay, here's our agenda for today's explainer. 1. Purpose of perimeter patrols. 2. Identifying common security hazards. 3. Professional personnel search procedures. 4. Handling search refusals tactfully. And 5. Thorough vehicle inspection methods. Let's dive right in.
Module 1. The purpose of perimeter patrols.
So why do we bother walking the perimeter in the heat or the cold, instead of just sitting comfortably in a control room looking at camera monitors? Well, a fixed post assignment is actually the most expensive and least effective way to utilize a guard. It's entirely predictable. Think about it. Anyone watching the main gate from the outside knows exactly where you are, and more importantly, they know exactly where you aren't. They just wait until you look the other way. On the other hand, a carefully designed patrol is dynamic. The concrete perimeter walls themselves only delay an intrusion. It's your active, moving patrol that actually detects and deters it. We have to be the unpredictable element that keeps intruders constantly guessing.
The crucial point here is how we conduct these patrols to maintain that element of surprise. Your patrol routes must be selected on a totally random basis. Never walk the same path at the exact same time twice. Intruders pattern your movements, so, break the pattern. Your patrol frequency should increase based on the vulnerability of the specific area. Spend way more time near the high-value stores and less time near the empty lots. And listen, during the night shift, your vigilance has to double. You've got to actively test emergency lighting systems to ensure they trigger and maintain strict radio protocols, ensuring constant two-way pings with the control room in the dark. If you see something, or even if you just feel something is wrong, the control room needs to know instantly.
Module 2. Identifying common security hazards.
You've got to train your brain to spot physical environmental hazards immediately. We aren't just looking for people sneaking around. Look for broken, pushed down, or rusted barbed wire that someone could easily slip through. Overgrown bushes? That's a perfect hiding spot. Report it so the maintenance crew can clear it out. And pay special attention to clear zones. Absolutely no materials should be stacked within 15 to 20 feet of the perimeter walls. Fire risks aside, that stack of wooden pallets left by a lazy contractor is a ready-made ladder for an intruder. Be cautious of shadowy areas and outside truck parks where lighting is poor. And here's one veterans know to look for: soil erosion. After heavy monsoon rains, water drainage can wash away the earth right under the boundary wall or fence. That creates a ready-made tunnel that an intruder or a stray animal can slip right under.
Module 3. Professional Personnel Search Procedures.
Now we enter a highly sensitive but completely vital part of your daily duties. Remember, as security professionals, we must conduct these searches thoroughly, but without ever offending the dignity of the person standing in front of us. There's a clear binary difference in our search types that you need to master. The touch search is our routine, everyday baseline. This involves respectfully feeling the outer clothing, shoes, and pockets. We do this for 100% of employees and contractors entering or exiting sensitive zones. It's quick, efficient, and expected. The rigorous search, however, is much more invasive and thorough. We conduct this randomly on about 10% of the workforce. Because of its nature, this requires complete privacy in a designated search room where the individual may be asked to remove layers of clothing.
When you're conducting a rigorous search, strict protocol applies. First, always use your handheld explosive and metal detectors before making physical contact. Let the technology do the first sweep. Then, thoroughly examine the thick soles of footwear and the joints of the body, like behind the knees or under the arms, where small, high-value items are easily taped and hidden. Check the belts of trousers and the waistbands. When it comes to traditional headgear, like a turban or a pugri, you must handle the situation with the absolute utmost respect. Examine it by pressing gently. Do not force anyone to remove it in public unless there is a very strong specific suspicion, and even then, it must be done in the private, rigorous search room. Finally, let me be perfectly clear on female personnel. Female employees and visitors will be searched only by authorized female security staff with complete regard for their modesty. There are 0 exceptions to this rule.
Module 4. Handling search refusals tactfully.
This is arguably the most legally and interpersonally challenging scenario you'll face at the gates. What happens if a visitor, a contractor, or even a senior employee looks you dead in the eye and flat out refuses a search? Or what if you're questioning a suspicious individual lingering near the perimeter line and they become highly uncooperative and aggressive? Do you get angry? Do you grab them? Absolutely not.
The absolute crucial point here is maintaining your professional composure. First, stay calm, patient, and tactful. De-escalate the tension. Second, if a visitor or contractor refuses a search at the entry point, the solution is simple. You politely deny them access. They don't get in. Third, and you really need to listen closely to the legal reality of this, a refusal to be searched is not, by itself, a legal justification to detain someone. You cannot hold someone hostage at the gate just because they said no. Fourth, you detain them for the police only if you have credible visual evidence that they've stolen company property or are actively committing a cognizable offense. Otherwise, report the refusal up your chain of command immediately and let the facility management handle the disciplinary action. You protect the gate, but you also protect yourself from legal liability.
Module 5. Thorough Vehicle Inspection Methods.
Let's get into the real grit and grease of the job. Smuggling something out in a pocket is one thing, but vehicles are the easiest way to bleed massive amounts of contraband and materials out of an installation. First, verify they actually have authorization to enter, and critically, you must check the authenticity of those gate passes. Don't just glance at a piece of paper. Look for the proper facility stamps, authorized signatures, and check the dates. Second, you have to cross-check the physical materials in the back of the truck against the delivery challenge and purchase vouchers. If the paperwork says 50 boxes and you count 60, the vehicle does not move an inch. Third, particularly for tankers or vehicles operating near inflammable areas, search the drivers and cleaners to ensure they don't have matchboxes, lighters, or BDs. Finally, ensure that the vehicle's exit gate pass is officially surrendered and logged before you open the boom barrier to let them out.
I want you to remember this as a golden rule of security. Opening the bonnet and the luggage boot is only the beginning of a search, not the end. A casual glance into an empty trunk is not a security check. It's just a performance for the cameras. If you actually want to stop sabotage and prevent severe property loss for the company, you have to look exactly where the driver hopes you won't.
Smugglers are incredibly creative. You'd be amazed what they try to get past us at the gates. They'll hide items inside a deflated spare tire, knowing most guards won't check the air pressure. They will wedge valuable copper wire or contraband right behind a hot engine oil filter or the carburetor under the bonnet. You need to pull up and check beneath removable back seats and dig deep inside dashboards and messy glove compartments. Get your undercarriage mirror trolley and check underneath the mudguards and the chassis for items tied with wire to the exhaust pipe. If it's a commercial truck, check inside the hollow lengths of scaffolding or right under the driver's seat. Your thoroughness in the grease and the dirt is what prevents massive financial loss.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from executing random patrol patterns to digging through dashboards and checking the authenticity of gate passes. But I want to leave you with this final thought before you head out. The concrete walls and barbed wire of this installation only delay an intrusion. It's your dynamic patrol, your trained eyes, and your unyielding professionalism that actually detects and stops it. The stakes are incredibly high, but you've got the tools now. So my question to you is, are you ready for your first round? Take these lessons, stay highly vigilant out there, and let's keep this facility absolutely secure. Thanks for joining me in this explainer team. Now go out there and own the perimeter.